Next on Worcester News tonight, a comment about Worcester made on a late-night talk show is receiving a lot of attention, and the city is having some fun with it. Plus, a look at how police departments use surveillance video to help solve crimes and how they rely on the public's input. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. Temperatures didn't rise much higher than freezing today with icy conditions across central Massachusetts, but we are expected to see temperatures in the 50s tomorrow, followed by 30s this weekend. Here's meteorologist Tim Kelly with a first look at our forecast.
Yeah, last night was a little bit icy, especially from Worcester points north, and even today we barely got above 32 degrees. That system from last night long gone, left a half-inch of rain and a coating of ice. Now here comes a warm front. Look at this, goes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Big snowstorm missing us to the north. Low pressure goes to our west, warmer air comes in. Although it looked like it tried to clear out today, the low-level moisture was just too thick, and it's still damp outside and chilly. It is winter jacket weather, but there's no icing going on tonight. Although just over the border in New Hampshire, there's still maybe some pockets of slippery travel. Here's the map. There's the time, 4:30 in the morning. Showers, maybe a downpour. The temperature should jump after this rain ends, 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's a wet start tomorrow, but for a few hours as the sun comes out and before it gets cold, we should be able to touch 50 in a lot of spots. The wind is going to start getting very gusty. And by sunset tomorrow, we're back down to freezing. It's a big, cold, high-pressure system with blue sky and cold air in our weekend forecast on the way.
The city is responding to a remark made by comedian Conan O'Brien on a late-night talk show. The Massachusetts native has roots in the city, but doesn't seem to share the same enthusiasm about Worcester as people who live and work here. City Hall is admittedly having some fun with this and is reaching out to Conan. Now our Rosalind Flaherty joins us now with more on the joke heard around Worcester. Rosalind.
Olivia, the city says when they first heard Conan O'Brien mention Worcester, they were excited. But when they actually watched the video, they say it wasn't exactly positive and thought creating a response video would be a great opportunity to tell Conan how much Worcester has improved.
We came to Boston around the time of the Civil War. We just all moved into a very small area, corner of Worcester, Massachusetts, and we just don't woo Worcester. No one woos Worcester. It's unwooable.
A playful comment from Conan O'Brien isn't sitting well with some people in Worcester. It prompted the city of Worcester to respond with a video to woo the comedian back.
This is kind of an opportunity for us to be playful, have a little bit of fun, respond, and see if it gets picked up.
O'Brien appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert Sunday night when he told the host he used to live in Worcester. When an audience member cheered,
"Don't woo Worcester, no one woos Worcester." It's unwooable.
I think we're past wooable at this point. I think people are moving here.
Amy Peterson is the communications specialist for the city. She created the video inviting O'Brien back to visit all the new things happening, including the Worcester Red Sox, the redevelopment downtown, and the city's 100 new restaurants.
I think it's been a long time since he's, walked the streets of Worcester.
The video is getting a lot of responses on social media, including this one from Worcester Railers Hockey Club president Mike Myers, who has seen the city improve over the years.
I'd want Conan to know that people like our owner, Cliff Rucker, have come in and made a huge difference. We can take a little of the haters, making comments, but, he's got to remember, where his roots are.
The city tagged O'Brien on Twitter and sent it to his producers. They aren't sure if he'll ever see it, but they say the invitation is open.
We felt like this was an opportunity, whether or not Conan responds, for us to continue to talk about that momentum.
Yeah, there's a lot to woo about in the woo. So, thanks, Conan.
We reached out to Conan's publicist for comment, but he says he has no comment. Live in Worcester, Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
All right, thank you, Rosalind. And the Worcester Railers are going pink this weekend, and the team says it's all for a good cause. This Saturday, the team is hosting their Pink in the Rink game, benefiting the Cup Crusaders. The goal is to raise awareness for breast cancer. The ice is already painted pink, and the team has already gotten a chance to practice on it.
It's a tradition here we've had in Worcester throughout the hockey, saga here. So it's exciting, and it's another opportunity to get everyone out from the community to come out and support a great cause here and enjoy a nice game of hockey.
And the team is also hosting 80s night on Friday, encouraging everyone to wear their 80s gear. When solving crimes, police departments sometimes look to the public for help. Local departments say social media has played a major role in identifying suspects they may not otherwise have been able to catch up with. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us now with more on a case Sturbridge police are looking into. Brittany.
Olivia, Sturbridge police are looking for a man and woman suspected of using a stolen credit card at the Walmart in town. Police say the suspects could be linked to another incident in West Boylston. Surveillance video catches a man and woman suspected of using a stolen credit card.
We got a call from a resident of our town that had her motor vehicle broken into while it was parked by one of the walking trails here in town. Her credit card statement reflected that her card had been used at the Walmart at 100 Charlton Road here in our town, and that she was not the one who used the card.
Photos posted by Sturbridge police shows the suspects in the electronics section of Walmart on January 27th. Sergeant Sean Payne says they hope to identify the pair by posting the surveillance footage on social media.
Surveillance photos and our social media community help solve a lot of crimes that would go otherwise unsolved.
West Boylston police shared similar photos on Facebook Thursday of a man and woman they say used a stolen credit card at the Walmart and Sally Beauty Supply in town. The Sturbridge and West Boylston incidents happened within hours of each other. It appears the suspects are wearing the same clothing in both photos.
We've been in contact with their police department. As far as whether or not it's the same individuals, I can tell you that it's an open investigation.
People shopping at Walmart Thursday say credit card theft happens too often.
I think it's terrible. I think it's disgusting that people will go to those measures, and you have to be very careful today. When I check out at the register, I always try to turn so that the person behind me can't see the number I'm punching in.
I just think it's horrible. Like, you work so hard for the little that you get nowadays, and then that people have to go and do that.
And Sergeant Payne says they have received some tips from the community and are pursuing all leads. Anyone with any information is asked to call Sturbridge or the West Boylston Police Departments. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
A Worcester dry cleaner is facing a large fine for multiple violations of environmental regulations. The Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection assessed more than $80,000 in penalties against White and Bright cleaners on Main Street. Mass DEP says the dry cleaning business failed to address several violations in a timely manner, including air quality, hazardous waste, and hazardous waste cleanup. The owners were ordered to address levels of dry cleaning fluid inside the building and to comply with all regulations. A popular Worcester restaurant has plans to expand in Holden. Quinn's Irish Pub on West Boylston Street will start work on a second location in the spring. The owner of Quinn says they plan to demolish the Blue Plate Lounge on Main Street in Holden and construct a new restaurant. He says it will be very similar to Quinn's in Worcester. It's not clear when the new place will open. A somewhat last-minute decision, Worcester Public School administrators announced they will not be going forward with the sexual education portion of the Michigan model. For weeks, they've been looking at different proposals and were set to vote on it tonight. And as our Chandler Walsh tells us, some are not happy with the decision. Chandler.
Olivia, the district began looking into a new sexual education curriculum to be consistent through all schools and to address student health concerns in the city, but now approving a new model won't happen this school year. The Worcester School Committee won't be voting on a new sexual education curriculum this year. The decision comes after multiple models were proposed for the middle schools.
Certainly it's a passionate subject, and there are different groups that support different models. And we decided that the focus on children was really where we wanted to stay.
School committee members will vote on a comprehensive health curriculum known as the Michigan model at their Thursday night meeting. But it won't include sex education since the mayor and superintendent pulled it this week.
It is not as tested as the whole health curriculum model. We've got a lot of emails and conversations with lots of people that concerned.
School committee member John Monfredo says he was upset when he heard about the change. He says it was a good compromise and starting point for students.
It's a lot of misinformation out there. That was an abstinence model and it was abstinence based, but it did talk about pregnancy, it did talk about the importance of safe sex.
State Representative Jim O'Day has filed legislation for an evidence-based, age-appropriate health education standard for the whole state. He opposed the Michigan model's sex ed curriculum and says the right curriculum needs to mention consent, pregnancy, and LGBTQ youth.
It's all of those kinds of things that go into this kind of a framework, I believe, that is going to keep our kids safe.
Superintendent Maureen Benenda says the district will wait for the Department of Education's health curriculum recommendations, which should come next fall.
I hope that it is appropriate for the age of the students and also address some of the health issues that we're seeing.
Superintendent Benenda says the school committee will vote on the Michigan model minus the sexual education portion at their meeting tonight here at City Hall. Both school committee member Monfredo and State Rep O'Day would also like to see more sex ed in the high schools. Live in Worcester, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
A care center in Worcester is offering loan repayment services to new and current staff. The Worcester Business Journal reports Lutheran Rehabilitation and Skilled Care Center is teaming up with the Boston Loan Repayment Company to offer up to $10,000 toward an employee's loan payment. Sheehan Health Group, Lutheran's parent company, says the program is important to stay competitive in recruitment and retention efforts in an industry with high demand for workers. All full-time licensed staff nurses are eligible. Worcester City Councilors get their hands dirty at a subcommittee meeting. They toured the plant where the city's curbside recycling ends up. The visit comes as the city manager's office is looking into simpler ways for residents to recycle, like using clear plastic bags. Our Cam Jandro reports.
It's a dirty job, but Worcester City Councilors wanted to see it in person. The city's Public Works Committee toured Casella Recycling in Auburn to gather ideas for the comprehensive Clean City program.
It's important for us to see at this end of the cycle what's going on and to get some information and some feedback from the folks at Casella and from the DPW staff.
Feedback like if city residents are properly getting rid of their waste. Casella wants residents to avoid recycling things like scrap metal, plastic bags, or clothes, so they can recycle what comes into their facility.
Ultimately, that's how recycling works, right? Recycling has to go the complete cycle. Just because it goes out to the curb or just because Jerry's trucks pick it up doesn't mean that it's recycling.
The city has proposed clear drawstring bags as part of its new recycling program. The hope is it also promotes residents to only recycle appropriate materials. The idea has received mixed reviews from residents as well as city councilors.
I'm not looking to carry 2 recycle bins inside of a bag to the curb.
Public Works Committee Chair George Russell is also on the fence about the bags. He says education plays a role in cleaning up Worcester.
Neighbors need to get the message that they're not limited to one small recycling bin. And DPW will give them a bumper sticker that says recycling. They can put it on any plastic bin that they want.
Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.